My people from everywhere, welcome back to the show. I am back. I'm off vacation. As you can see, I'm like all sunburned up. All that talk about saying black folks don't get sunburned. Yeah, right. At least us light skinned brothers do. But I don't really consider myself light skinned, y'all. I think I'm like a brown skinned type brother. I ain't just your average light skinned like Drake type nigga. You know what I mean? But yeah, your boy burnt up. You know what I mean? Ugh. But the vacation is over. Last Tuesday morning, I was sitting in the car finna jump on a plane to Maui. This Tuesday morning, I'm back in the garage drinking coffee, making videos. The vacation is over. Now it's time to get back to the grind. So all y'all who's first time tuning in, please like, share, and subscribe. And for everybody who would like to support the channel, please hit that thank you button that's to the right of the thumb button on the. And I appreciate any kind of donations you can donate to the channel. Good looking out. I have more exclusive content coming. That's gonna be on the membership page because that's coming off my little what you call it, the memory card. I got that on the memory card, so I got to put that through the computer and get all that edited up, and I got to get somebody else to do that for me because I'm not skilled for that. So that's what the membership is for. The membership is for stuff that I put on the memory card through the GoPro and other cameras. Everything I put on this camera will go to the public. It will be free. So you can check it out. But still, if you like what I'm putting out, you support my content, you appreciate what I'm doing, show a little support and hit that thank you button, people. I appreciate that. So Maui was cool. We did a lot of things. I got a lot of excursions. I got a lot of footage I'm gonna share with y'all continuously. I didn't really go out to a lot of restaurants because we ended up going to a Costco right after we got the airport and went and got a lot of stuff ourselves. Save money like that, of course, because like I say, I'm a check type brother. Right. But yeah, we had a ball, a lot of excursions. I got into a lot of stuff. Let me see. I was in the water. You see, I got burnt up. You know what I mean? But hey, I love to go back there. I recommend it. It's expensive over there. You just got to catch the right deals at the right time. That's all we did. We caught a cool deal on some tickets. It was real cheap, and we made it happen. So you got to search for shit like that. Groupon and all that type of stuff. That shit is really worth looking into, y'all, if you want to take trips and shit. Like I said, the 5 hours across the ocean, I thought about that. That was something that had me thinking like, man, I don't know if I really want to do that. That's something just a lot of people think over the water for 5 hours straight. That scares some people. But then I know people that did it and went to further places and they stayed on there like 13-hour flights straight. So I'm like, shit. But 5 hours on that plane, I was like, shit. I got to start feeling sick for a minute. Feel like I was going to throw up on that motherfucker because I had got a drink. I got a little fucking vodka and orange juice or some shit. And I don't know, I just started getting hot headed. But it didn't happen right away. I don't know, it just got hot on the plane. And I had to get me some ice water, just make sure, because I feel like I was finna just give it up. But I'm like, okay. But the drink was watered down. You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and get into this Game Bangers near-death experience. I'm sorry for keeping y'all waiting for so long, but like I said, I had to take a family vacation. The family got to get out sometime, and that was my first vacation ever in life. So it was something that I had to do. So I'm glad I did. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to do it again whenever I get the chance to do it again. So let's get right down to this. So this story right here, I'm going to keep y'all on Century and Prairie because this is something else that happened in the Century and Prairie area. It's actually on Century and Prairie with me and my crew. See, every hood got generations, and you got generations, got crews, little cliques, like homies who run together. You got these niggas run together, these niggas run together. All from the same hood, but you got crews. I'm part of a generation I'm actually one of the founders of the Baby Raymonds from my section. Me, Tiny C, Baby T, and Kuwak, Lil Bang. We are some of the founders of the Baby Raymonds that's still around. There was more people that was Baby Raymonds with us back in the days, but I kid you not, a lot of them turned different gangs, a lot of them turned Bloods. Quite a few was from Crenshaw Mafia. I know some from VNG, from Hoover, A-Tray Gangster, Denver Lane. These is all also Baby Raymond Crips with us. They all lived on 105th. We lived on 104th. So we had our crew, we had our cliques, you know what I mean? But we are the younger cats that was in that section in the early 80s. Like I'm talking about 81. That was young niggas that was representing Baby Raymond Crips. And my homie Tiny C was the youngest cat from Raymond at the time. He the first person from Raymond with the name Tiny. Anybody named Tiny from Raymond to this day, the first person ever from Raymond Avenue Crip with the name Tiny is the homie Tiny C. So me and Tiny C and the homies, we used to all be in the motel over here on Century. Once again, the airport motel, hanging out over here. One day we go to, at this time I had, this is 1987. This is 1987 now, right? At this time I had the folk. We went to a party. I think the Mansfields had it. The Mansfields or the PBGs went to a party on a street called Wrigley. This same street is where they filmed, these same apartments where they filmed Baby Boy at. So at the time, my homie Day Day, Bardog, rest in peace, and we had Pico Raymonds over there back then too. So we used to be over there on Sycamore and Pico, where Okie Dog used to be at a lot. So we used to be Raymonds all around that way, based due to Day Day and Bardog, rest in peace. They established that over there. So we used to be over there all the time, and we went and fuck around with the Mansfields and all them. So we went to one of their parties one night over there. We went over there deep as fuck. I mean, that shit was live. It was all out in the fucking outside type shit. So we went over there and did our shit, hung out with them one night. We went deep. We was probably about like 12 cars deep. So now while we gone, I had left my dope in a motel. So I had the homie, who was that? Lil Moon was in a motel. He didn't go with us. He wanted to stay and serve. So I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna let you stay in my room. Keep this dope. Just watch my dope right here. Sell some of my dope for me. Just give me some sales. You know what I'm saying? He's like, all right. So I left my dope sitting on the back of the toilet seat in the motel room. So anyway, we come back to the room from fucking around with the Mansfields and them that night. I get back to the hood. I'm like, where this nigga Moon at? This nigga's nowhere around, and I can't find my dope. So now I'm mad at this nigga. Where my dope at, nigga? So I don't see this nigga till the next day. He pop up like, I was like, nigga, where my dope at? Oh, it's right here, cuz, it's right here. He had stashed it somewhere in the back of the toilet. So now, okay, this is Mother's Day, 1987 to be exact. Now, he come to the motel. He like, cuz, nigga, you got these niggas at McDonald's over here right now. You got some niggas over here, whoopty whoop whoop. And he dissed, me some blood niggas over there. So know what it was? The niggas was on the side of McDonald's. They was coming from a carnival. It was supposed to be in a carnival at Inglewood High School. And one of the niggas' Dayton's or something fell off. And there used to be a liquor store on the corner of Century and Prairie at this time. So the niggas' car would park right behind the motherfucking thing. So it was a bunch of bloods over there while they was jacking it up, like holding security. So they was like just standing around watching. Now the homie Lil Moon, he comes back to tell me, like, nigga, these niggas is over here. So he tell us in the motel. So all right, hold up, nigga, where my dope at? So everything is squared away. Now we go outside to see what's up. I walk outside. At the time I used to run out this big ass Rambo knife. Had my big ass Rambo knife on me. The homies go, we go outside right out the motel on Century, and we can look and see. All of a sudden, you see on the side of McDonald's where the liquor store was at, like the back part. The back part was more so on Prairie. And niggas sees red hats. I said, oh, we gotta get these niggas. So we start pushing down Century. Boom. What we used to do back then was, when we start pushing, we catch niggas at the McDonald's like that. We'll go out around through the alley, come from the 99th way, and come from that way, and bust from that way. So the homies like took off, run around that way. So they got to go all the way around through the alley, come down that way. Now we start pushing down Century. Before we can get halfway there, them niggas seen us and start looking. So we see them niggas, we like chunking up, nigga, break mud. We just start giving it up to the niggas. And they wasn't like throwing it up. They was just looking like, just looking over there. And we like, nigga, break mud. And there might have been like 6 of us pushing down Century on one side of the street. We on the, this will be considered the south side of Century going towards Prairie, the same side. Today, right now, same side where the Starbucks is at. And they was over there next to McDonald's. McDonald's is still there. The liquor store is gone, but there's a gas station next to the liquor store right now. So as we walking down Century, and we see them niggas, we like, give them nigga break, bud. And one of them niggas just chunked it up. He like, bow. We like, nigga break, bud. We're on one side of the street. And one little nigga, I just remember this little nigga, he just got down low, yo. He got down low. And he just kind of got on the side of the brick wall with something. And I seen the nigga from the bus. And he just got off. Pow, 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 right across the street. So then, boom, we like, nigga, busting. So none of us in this pack got the heat on us. The homies got the heat coming from around the back way. So when they start busting, we running back towards the motel. Run back towards the motel. Bow, tag me in the back. I like, boom. I feel it. But it don't feel like nothing. So on this day, I had on this black Cascade coat. And it was the homie Tiny Kimbone from 6-0, rest in peace. It was his coat. So when on the back of it said Kimbone, and it had RSC on the front. Like I said, us in the 60s used to be real tight back then. The 60s to be in our hood, we be in their hood. We all be on Century. We done fucked around over there. All them motels. A lot back then. The homie Teeter Rock from 60s, and they all stayed in the motels over there. Him and Sly and them. So we was around there. They was around there. There's a lot of Crips on that side. Always has been. But anyway, you get Bloods gonna come through and try to test us all the time. Like I said, that's Inglewood. Bloods always came at us over. It's never been easy for Crippin in Inglewood, period. That's why a lot of dudes turn blood in Inglewood, because it's easy to be a blood in Inglewood than it is to be a Crip. Facts. Anybody tell you that? It's easier to be a blood in the city of Inglewood than it is to be a Crip. A Crip, you're going up against the majority in that city. We never had it easy. They always came at us. We always hollered back. That's just the way it is. Niggas is still doing that shit to this day. The city of Inglewood is majority of Bloods. Small section over is Crips. And the Bloods always came at us. It's always been war over there. Never stopped. So, as I said, I'm running back to the motel now. I feel the hit. Boom. So I think I got hit. So now the homegirls from 60s is coming down the street. I jump up on this gate. I'm finna climb over this gate. And the homegirls, she say, Crazo, you got shot, you got shot. So I pull up the back jacket like this here. Say, yeah, you got shot. So, you know, I don't feel shit. Like, okay, I'm not a lot of blood and then run down. So I jump off the gate and I go and I run up in this motel, the airport motel. I run and dive on the floor. Now, this time, by the time I turn the corner thing, now the homies is busting. The homies didn't came, but the homies got there late. So now the homies is busting, niggas is scattered, they didn't got on where the fuck, peeled off, whatever. Now the scene is clear. But the homies got off, but the homies got off too late. I had already caught one. I don't know what damage they did at that moment. I know afterwards, once I was in the hospital, the homies retaliated and went to where they thought did it, but who we thought did it didn't do. I found out later who it was, I ain't gonna say, but it actually wasn't no Inglewood Bloods. It was somebody just passing through, and they shit was broke down. I know this because I got cousins and real close friends that's Bloods that kept a nigga in the loop. So, I'm in there laying on the bed and shit. I'm like, I guess I'm just off liquor. I don't know. I'm a young nigga. I'm 17. I'm 17. And, you know, police come, Inglewood police come. They show more concern about looking for drugs and guns in this motherfucker than they is concerned about getting me to the hospital. The homie starting to go off on the police. The homie Lil Bangy like, take the homie to the... So now they want to trip, like, because he tripping them, like, take the homie to the hospital. I'm over there bleeding out. You know what I mean? But really, I wasn't bleeding out. The shit wasn't really running out. Bullets still in my back to this day, right next to my spinal cord. They told me if I would have kept moving, I would have been paralyzed. And they never removed the bullet because they said if they moving, there's a chance it's going to get... It hit the nerve, and boom, I get paralyzed. It's in the muscle and ain't going nowhere. So to this day, I still have this 38 bullet in my back right next to my spinal cord. And it's a trip because throughout prison, I didn't try to use that shit to my advantage when I didn't want to go places. I didn't want to get on the top bunk or on the top stairs, or when I tried to get out of going to fire camp when I was young and shit. But it doesn't matter. They take the x-rays, so that bullet ain't going nowhere. It's in the muscle. So, you know, yeah, but it's a trip because this was Mother's Day, y'all. And I wanted to drop this on Mother's Day because that's when it happened on Mother's Day. But I think I was in Maui at the time. I was doing some other shit. I don't know. I gotta be in the right mind state. I gotta be feeling it. I gotta be like really into it to put up a video. I just can't just throw a video up just anytime. If I'm feeling it, it ain't gonna be right. Sometimes I do that shit and I delete shit. I don't even share that shit. But I gotta be feeling it. I gotta be just, my vibe gotta be there. You know, gotta be the right energy for me to be able to provide and produce these type of videos the way I do it, the way they feel, the way it happened. You know what I mean? For y'all can feel the way it happened. So sometimes, you know, my words get twisted and shit, but that's because a nigga just trying to put it out there for y'all can feel it the way it actually happened. You know what I mean? Because now some people tell stories and I don't know, you gotta have that feel to it. Now, remember, I write books too, so I know, you know what I mean, I know how to be able to connect, try to anyway, at least I try to. I think I know how to connect with my audience through my books, but the same with on this camera for YouTube. But yeah, so this is all, like I said, Mother's Day 1987. These niggas got off, shot me in the back, right there on Century and Prairie. The police didn't give a fuck. Eventually they took me to the hospital, set up in the hospital for not even a whole night. Homies came and scooped me up. Baby T pull up in a stolen minivan. No, not a minivan, a fucking, one of them little, the motherfucking mini blazers that they had. Nigga had I think it was a brown mini blazer. Baby T come scoop me up at the hospital. we get on, you know what I mean? So I don't stay in there long. I gave him a fake name when I went to the hospital. I think I told him I was with one of my partners out of Cerritos, my nigga Jawan. I think I used that nigga name with somebody else's address. So I had mail shit for the longest years coming with hospital bills to my auntie Linda house on 104th with this nigga Jawan name on it. Jawan never knew, like, nigga use it. Like, I just use Jawan name. Like, they don't know Jawan. Jawan ain't out here in these streets like this. But I just use a nigga name. I never tell them my real name when I got shot. I never been stabbed. I always went in there. Nigga didn't have no ID on him back then. Niggas at that time in his life, nigga didn't carry no fucking ID. My driver's license probably think was suspended. Even though I had a driver's license since I was 16, but still, I think that shit was suspended. So I would just throw any name out there. Cause niggas, you know, you in the streets, you selling dope and shit, you get jacked up. You don't want to know who you is. Like, I ain't got no ID. That was always in line. Especially, we was just 16 years old, 17 years old at that time. So, you know, but that's another near-death experience. That's just one where I actually caught it. You know what I mean? I actually caught that bullet, still carry that bullet to this day on my back. This shit happened right there on Century and Prairie. Like I said, Century and Prairie is active, has always been active. It was more so active back in the 80s when you didn't have as many Crips over there back in the 80s. See, we got more Crips over there now because the Legends is over there. But back then, before the Legends is over there, and it wasn't a lot of Crips, it was just us. It was just them niggas from Raymond and some other Crips from different areas over there in the 80s. So we didn't have all the support that's over there now for us Crips on Prairie. So it's different. But the Raymond niggas been over there, and all the Inglewood blood niggas that's been around from the 80s would tell you, they know we was over there doing our shit. They always came and hollered. We was always over there. It's never been easy. Inglewood police would probably say the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, we always felt like they was against us too. We had everybody against us, and we was just trying to hold it down, just being nothing but Raymonds and Tongans right there. That's Inglewood section right there where all this shit happened. And I got more stories to tell you about this section right here where niggas done try to kill me at. Niggas done try to kill me at many times. That's why my mom like, what? Look, when I got shot on Mother's Day, let me tell y'all this part. I got shot on Mother's Day, I didn't even tell my mama. I went to, I got the hospital. I went to my Aunt Linda's house on 104th for a minute. Then I went to the homegirl Tish house on Doty, and I posted up at Tish house. But Linda, some kind of way, called my mama, my grandmama, and they told her I got shot. So now next day, moms them in the hood looking for me. They find me at Tish house, and they scoop a nigga up and take me on. But that's was after Baby T scooped me from the hospital and took me to Tish house. But still, this is Mother's Day. I didn't want to ruin my mama's Mother's Day, and like your son got shot on Mother's Day. I didn't want to do that shit. So I didn't. Don't tell my mama. Don't tell my mama. And you know, I was like, shit. I'm a big kid now. I'm 17, nigga. I'm out here gangbanging with bullets in my back, and I'm like still up, active, and still ready to do some more. You know what I mean? The risk taker. Remember that part when I was telling y'all another story? That's the risk taker, right? Here it is, nigga. You got bullets in your back. You can't wait to get back out there and do some more shit. Now, mind you, this was before Kill Dog got killed. Kill Dog wasn't even out of jail yet. Kill Dog was still in prison when I got shot. Kill Dog came home a little bit after I got shot when I was kind of like, you know, I had the patch on my back and shit like that. But it was still, he came home at that time after I got shot. So my events is getting twisted a little bit as far as time period because I got another one that I should have told y'all before this one that happened right there in the same motel with McDonald's, and I'll tell y'all about that on another one. It's always been something with that McDonald's right there on Central and Prairie. We always been active trying to catch niggas over there. That's what it always been. That's just what it is. That's Central and Prairie. And it's still Crip niggas still try to catch niggas over there like that. You got to be careful at that McDonald's over there if you don't know your way around town, and don't assume you know who is, because if you don't know, you can really get caught up in some shit over there. That area is dangerous, always been dangerous. It's wide open. LAX right there now in the SoFi Stadium. If you don't know what you're doing around there, don't assume nothing. Don't assume these dudes ain't around here because you don't see niggas hanging out. Don't get it twisted. Niggas is around that motherfucker. You just got to be careful. That's what I say. I'm like that about most of this part of the city, period. In LA, you got to be careful because you don't know who is who. And once again, there's a lot of gang violence going on out there right now. A lot of shit is going on. Niggas is getting slid on. A lot of shit is cracking. Yo, be careful in the city. Let my experiences be a lesson to those who want to listen. And once again, each day is a new day. Now, let's run that shit back.